Alright, hey guys, so I just want to kind of quickly talk about one way that I reuse leftovers. So I had purchased a whole pork roast, and it was about $6. I can get it at my local store, and it's like local meat and stuff like that. So they go on pretty cheap. So I picked one up the other day. It was just maybe slightly over $6, but it was closer to the $6 mark. Anyways, it was a fairly big roast. So that night that day I had cooked it in the slow cooker all day because I wasn't gonna be here, and then we come home that night and I had made a bunch of potatoes, and I made some green beans. And my son's not a fan of green beans, so he had some broccoli, but he ate all that up. There was no leftover broccoli. Um, what was left over though is these potatoes, and I also did up a bag. Oh no, it's about the size of one of these bags up here. I have them hanging up there because I washed them out, but it was a fairly big sandwich bag, and I just packed as much in there as I could, and I flattened it out, and I put that in my freezer so that if I want to make like a shepherd's pie or something, I could easily just pull that out, and then I don't have to deal with having to boil the potatoes and cook the potatoes for the shepherd's pie. So I've been doing that for quite a few years now. I find it's just a lot easier that way, so and my potatoes don't get wasted. But I did know that I was going to be making kind of like another meal, kind of like what we had for supper that night. So I did keep some of the potatoes in a container in the fridge. I also have whatever was left for the gravy. I'll just probably add a little bit of water to that and warm that up, and that'll be good to go. So so we ate that night. We had the potatoes and the pork and the beans, and then I made the following day for lunch. I made myself a roast pork sandwich. So I used some of the pork then. Um, it was also used in a little bit of some of the pork was used in a little bit of rice, and then this is what was left. So I just cut some of the fat off. That'll go outside to the stray cat, the stray kitten. And so I cut this pork up here to put in with the potatoes. And I mean, you could use the potatoes, you could fry them up with some onions. You can go all out, but I'm just going to fry it like that. Make it a lot simpler. Plus, I don't think I have any onions, to be honest. And this is what's left. I have quite a hunk there and a little hunk here. So, what I'm going to do is I got a bag over here. I'm just going to label it cooked pork roast, and I'm going to shove that into the deep freeze. So it'll be another meat option for a night where I could either put it in my small crock pot or just pull it out, maybe even make a gravy and just simmer it in the gravy to rehydrate it, uh, cook it, whatever, and it'll be good to go. So out of that, I ended up getting a full meal. This is going to be another full meal. I got a sandwich, I got some rice, and I had some leftovers off of one pork roast. And you don't need a ton of meat. Um, I mean, if you want to eat a ton of meat, that's totally up to you. But I'm not a big meat eater. Um, and my son, well, he doesn't. He eats it there, but it's not like he needs a big portion like that. So I figured that's a good way to kind of show you guys how to use up your leftovers. I mean, I know it's not rocket science. For most people, they know how to reuse leftovers, but I figured maybe I'll put together a couple little videos like this just to explain how I use up my leftovers and how I stretch the meat out for probably, well, one supper, a lunch, another lunch, and another supper, and then leftovers. So I did about 5 things, and this will feed, like, once I warm that up, we'll have to eat that up because I don't want to heat it up like a third time. So that is how I am stretched my pork roast and the potatoes as well. I did up a couple of them, and they lasted. Whatever we didn't eat of the green beans, I put that away also, so nothing got wasted. And most people would have thrown this out. I know for a fact most people would have just, oh, there's leftovers, chuck it. I don't do that. I try not to waste any money if possible. So yeah, I figured I'd just come on here and quickly show you guys how I use my leftovers. So I'm going to go get this cooked. I got it on 3 right now. I'm just going to slowly cook everything together. I could probably even just, my son might not like it, but, so that's why I'm not going to do it, but I could have just dumped all the gravy in there and just made like a sloppy thing. I would have ate it, but I don't think he is. So I'm just going to fry everything up separately. And if there is some leftover gravy, what I might do is I might put it in the bag um, with the roast. So we will see. I'll come back anyways if I do decide to do that. If not, that'll be the end of this video. But hopefully you guys enjoy it, and if you do, let me know, and I'll make more little videos like this, just kind of showing how I use up my leftovers. Alright, thank you guys for watching.